Okay, cool. All right, so walk me through where we are at in the journey, and then let me figure out the best way to offer any advice, if any.
Okay, so I know the last time we spoke, we were doing a lot of speaking about wholesaling.
Uh-huh.
Some personal things came up financially, so I'm having to kind of scale back on wholesaling
Okay.
and going to start working on my real estate license, so at least I can have some kind of income
Sure.
coming in. But I know currently my sister and I are working on a rehab, should be done probably sometime the beginning of the year.
Okay.
And so just kind of already thinking ahead and was kind of sharing with her that it would be nice to get into a multifamily unit,
Okay.
but you know, leveraging other people's money, to be honest. And
Okay.
so that's why I was kind of wanting to know how does one go about raising capital in terms of, like, say I find a property, it's a great deal, it's in it. Like, for example, so I was doing some driving and I drove by a property this week, and it's right over there by the AT&T Stadium here in Texas,
Okay,
which is
cool.
really popular. It's by
Yeah.
Globe Life, and it's by the Texas Ranger.
Okay.
So it's by all these three different stadiums, and then there's another I think it's like an Arlington Athletic Center. So it's a lot going on in that area. It's kind of like a little small business district. So I called to see how much it was and everything, but it's way over our budget.
Okay.
But I was just thinking, okay, even if we start with a property that's worth 1 million, how do we raise that capital to do our down payment as well as rehab?
Okay.
So,
So, and that's a good question. So here's what I've discovered, and this is just from my own personal experience. I've discovered that it's much easier for me to find money from investors that want to invest in a project when I have a
okay,
deal in play already. And the
okay,
juicier the deal, the better the deal, the more likely people are to invest in it with you. So it's almost like, well, which came first, the chicken or the egg, right? Because I know
right.
that in our heads, and most of us feel like, including myself, we feel like, look, I got to go get people that have money that are ready to invest in a project, and then I'll go start looking for the project. But here's what's happened to me, at least. What'll happen is someone will say, Paul, I'm ready. I want to invest with you. I see what you're doing. Can you go find me a project? Blah blah blah. Then I invest the time to go out there and find the project and to find multifamily, to find whatever it is you're looking for. Then I go back to them, and it happens. I'm not saying it happens all the time, but it happens where
Right.
I go back and they're like, things have changed in my life. I'm not really ready to invest right now, or I had the money, 3 months ago or two
Yeah.
months ago, but now I went out and I purchased, a Subway franchise. Things like that have happened to me. So my point is that it's much easier when we have the deal in play. And
Okay.
like I said, if you can negotiate the deal and the terms that are really, really good, you'll have investors knocking at your door saying, "Hey, how can I get a piece of this?" And I see
Okay.
sometimes people on Facebook, what they'll do is they'll post a deal on there and they're like, I'm looking for investors to work with me on it. Can somebody either lend me the money, or can somebody invest with me on this project? But like, the problem is that they're posting these deals and they're not really getting them at a price, or they're not getting them at a point where the investor's really that excited about investing in it. So
Mm.
the better that you can get at sourcing like really good deals, or negotiating really good deals. So if we find that property that's for 1 million, right? It's not really the price that I'm worried about, in as much as can the seller carry? Can we do something creative? Can they give us 4 to 6 months of free rent with tenant improvements? So like in the commercial world, it's really common for people to come in. Well, you know this, you're an agent too, right? They'll go and they'll
Oh
lease
no, I'm working to become an agent.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
So when you hear the words tenant improvement, like what's happening is, if I lease an office, I can negotiate and I can with the landlord, and I can say, hey, give me 6 months free rent, so that way I can improve this place and have it in the condition that I want it to be in when I do move in. And you'd be surprised, on the commercial side, people go for stuff like that. And the crazy part is, you can do stuff like that in residential too if you're going to buy multifamily. multifamily. So that
Okay.
$1 million deal that you were looking at, like as crazy as this sounds, don't think it's beyond your budget. Think of it more like, how can I structure this that I make it so, don't worry about the price, worry about how you structure it so that it's so
Okay.
attractive that an investor can come in and say, hey, maybe I'll do this deal with you, right? Because if we can structure a commercial deal or a multifamily deal and we stretch it out 10 years out, 10 years out is going to come no matter what. And so what
Yeah.
I think is going to happen is right now we're like this. This is what's going to happen to
Mm-hmm.
them. It's going to be like this. It's going to be like this.
Right.
But if we ride this out for the next 5 to 7 years, it's going to come back up. And then within those 7 to 10 years, it'll come back up and it'll probably come back up higher because that's what real estate always does. And
Mm-hmm.
so then you can refinance it. So even though $1 million right now might sound crazy, 7 to 10 years from now, that $1 million might not sound so crazy. In fact, that might be worth 1.3. But it's all about how you structure it. If you can structure
Oh,
and say, look, I'll give you $1 million. It's a little overpriced right now, and that's fine. But if we can structure this over the next 7 to 10 years that I make payments on it to you, I'm game. And then you just
okay.
got to get creative. Like I have to help you get creative on how you can structure those deals so that investors are like, okay, it's cool. As long as they can cash flow enough to where they're seeing like a 30% return on their money,
Right. Okay.
they'll invest with you.
Okay. Because actually that deal, the reason why I was saying it was over our budget is when I spoke with the realtor this morning, she was saying that because the way the place is structured is like a budget inn next to it, and then there's that property that
Okay.
is Benny pretty much you tell it's just been sitting there for probably a couple years, and then right next to it is a think it's like a dollar one where you can come and rent cars. So she told me the owner actually owns that lot at the corner and the old hotel. And so he's wanting about like 7 point something million for
Wow. Okay.
it.
So he wants 7 million for everything.
Yeah, he wants 7 million. And so that's what she's saying. That's the problem that they're having is because people are calling because where that piece of property is, it's in a prime location. I mean, you can walk to the AT&T Stadium. That's how close it is.
Huh.
But so she was saying that somebody, who has a, who is a developer or somebody that's interested in coming and taking the corner lot in that property because she said
I'd
it's a
have to I'd have to
package.
see the numbers. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's worth that. I don't know. We'd have to take a
Mm,
look at it. So that includes the hotel. He's selling the business itself, or
yeah.
is the business making payments to him or her?
Well, see, I don't know. She was telling me that he's selling the lot, the corner lot, which is where you can go rent a car,
Hmm.
and which is directly next to the hotel that's just vacant.
Oh, the
And
hotel's vacant,
yeah, the
and he
hotel
owns
is
that. He
vacant.
owns that, huh?
Yeah. He owns it, and it's about 7 million, she said, for the both. But she said if he was willing to sell them separate, she said she thinks the hotel would go for about 5 point something million. So
I don't. I mean,
yeah,
I don't know how you'd be able to sell a hotel at 5.7 million while it's not operational.
yeah, it's not operational like
Yeah, there's
at
no, I
all.
just don't, I don't see it. I mean, I
Yeah,
call me crazy, but like who's gonna buy it just a shell? If someone's buying a hotel, then they want to see revenue, they want to see what it could be
right.
worth, like they want to see all of this stuff. Like, yeah, you can give them and now I'm kind of coaching you as an agent. You can give someone pro forma, and pro forma means like this is what we think it would be making, but it doesn't matter. I'm not buying it for its future value. I'm buying for it for what it's worth right now. And right now
Yeah.
it's making zero. So how am I
Well,
gonna?
right. So when I looked at it online,
Mhm.
I think it was Remax because it's coming up as an off market property, and it was
Oh,
valued like around 1 point something
yeah,
million.
exactly. So
So
your gut feeling is right.
yeah.
There's no way that someone's gonna pay $5 million for something that's not even
Oh,
generating revenue.
well, I did look on Privy because I have
Uh-huh.
access to Privy. So when I looked on Privy, it's actually on the owners, I guess the bank took back over them because it said Merrill Lynch. It said Merrill on there. So I'm wondering if that's the
Oh, they
problem.
foreclosed on it.
Yeah. And it's been closed. That was in 2017. That was back in 2017.
Wow, you're giving me a sticky one to try to analyze. I don't, we'd have to look
Yeah.
at we'd have to look at everything. But anyway, my point is if
Yeah.
not this one,
Right.
I guess what I'm saying is you want to get so good at just finding these deals and trying
Yeah.
to coordinate them, the money will come. I'm telling you that right
Okay.
now. If you need help structuring a particular deal,
Yeah.
then we can do it together. We'll look at it, we'll analyze it together, and then finding the money is actually, it sounds so crazy to even say this now, but it's actually the easier part, right?
Okay.
You just got to get so good at structuring these deals that it's attractive to get the money to come in.
Right.
Okay, and
Well,
that also means that it's a little bit of educating agents too, because sometimes agents, they're not very good at creative deals. We're very, and I remember as a broker, I know this, we're very used to the traditional, like, no, you just pay for the whole thing and that's it, and then
mm-hmm.
I get my commission and I sail off on the sunset. So they're
Mm-hmm.
not used to that. So that means that it's going to take a little bit of you educating them too.
Right. Right. So with that piece, okay, so with that hotel that I shared with you, do you think that would be something to even try to pursue, or just
Here, let's take a look at it really
because I
fast.
can
Hold
give
on.
you the
Yeah,
address?
let's look at it. Hold on.
Okay.
Sorry, I got like a gazillion windows open. All right. What's the address?
It's 908
Mm-hmm.
East Division Street. And there it is, Arlington, Texas, came right up. Yeah, that's it right there.
So it's this hotel. It's this one
Yeah,
hotel.
uh-huh. Yeah, and it's none, yeah. And then right at the corner is there's just a lot of cars. So he's trying to get rid of both of those together.
All right, I just want to see who the owner is. Division Hotel Management LLC. So no, I mean Merrill Lynch might be the bank that lent him the money, or they did a commercial
Yeah.
loan, but it looks like he's still the legal owner.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's under an LLC, Division Hotel Management LLC, 43,000 square feet. It was originally sold in 2021, MEI Investments LP, but it was sold for $0. So,
So when I
um,
looked MEI, that Merrill came up. So I was like, okay, do they own it now?
oh, that was who MEI Investments was,
Yeah.
Merrill Lynch.
Uh-huh. Merrill
Interesting.
Lynch. Yeah.
Maybe they foreclosed on it, right? On someone. No, look, they did. This was a quick claim deed. So that means they didn't foreclose, they just transferred.
Oh.
And here was the original owners, Dinesh Patel. And Ravji Patel had it in 2009. He took out a loan and then I'm not sure. It looks like they may have taken out some commercial loans, some private loans, and then intra-family dissolution. So there's a whole bunch of stuff going on.
Mm-hmm.
But right now the owner is Division Hotel Management LLC, and you can look for you can look up an LLC to see who is the owner of this LLC. Division Hotel Management LLC. Problem is I don't know where they're based out of. So
Yeah.
anyway, okay, so this isn't the same agent?
Oh, the agent was Zhang and Adams out here. Zhang and Adams, they were the ones that were had their sign posted in front.
Have you spoken to them?
Yes, uh-huh. I called the lady, Georgia Zhang, and
Okay.
that's what she was the one that told me about how that's a package deal for
S-
about
So everything is 7 million.
yes, all of it together. So the corner
So
lot.
so we're looking at this whole lot. including this one
Yeah.
right here.
Uh-huh. Right
So
there. Yep.
everything together is 7
It's
million.
yes. Mm-hmm.
And this is just a hotel.
Right.
And this is the Dollar Rent-A-Center.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it's a rental car.
Yes.
So yeah, I guess we'd have to see how long a contract. Here's the questions that I would ask. So I would go back and I would
Let me write them down.
yeah, I have a feeling
Mm-hmm.
um yeah, what he really would like is a developer to buy it, then demolish everything and do construction. But you know, a developer who's going to purchase this stuff tends to want to purchase it for the land value. So,
Okay.
and see, here's one. Look at this. Here's another hotel that's for sale on Watson Road for
Mm-hmm.
8.25. This one is currently for sale.
Okay.
72 room hotel. But it's actually producing income.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, look at this is the whole
Yeah.
hotel. So this one's asking 8.25 million, and then there's a cap rate of 8.90. So do you know how cap rates work?
Just a little bit.
Okay. So
Yeah.
no problem. So here's how this works. When you see a cap rate, what they're telling you is that is the net operating income, right?
Oh,
After paying all the bills, the net income divided by that number is the asking price. So if I divide or if I multiply this times that cap rate
uh-huh.
times 0.089, that's roughly the net income is 734,000. So this is making about $734,000 a year. So if I divide it by the cap rate, divide that by 0.089, that's how they're getting this price of 8.25.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Okay. So anytime you hear someone say, "Oh, this is the cap rate and this is what that is," all they're trying to tell you is they're using the net operating income and they have a figure that they're dividing it by to get their asking price.
Got
The
you.
lower the cap rate, the more expensive the property is. The higher the cap rate, the less expensive a property is. It's
Okay.
like it's backwards.
Right.
So you might have to
Okay.
you might need to reference this video again. But the point is,
Yes.
if this is an 8.9% cap rate, and that's like the going rate for the area, every area has like different cap rates for what they are, then all we'd have to know is, well, I mean, here's the problem. The problem is this has no income.
Right.
So it's like 0
Mm-hmm.
divided by whatever number is still 0. So anyway, yeah, I would call the agent. So call them and see, ask, and he or she told you there's it's not operable. It's no income. There's nothing there. The business is not operating, right?
Oh no, it has like I mean, I went by there today. I drive by it all the time. It's come from my son's school. So there's like a gate around it. It looks like it's just been sitting there. It's not only the car
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah.
Only the
So the owner's just hoping that someone's going to buy this, demolish it, and then build on it.
okay.
That's what the owner's hoping. Um, so I mean, yeah, I don't know if this one would necessarily be one for us, but here's what you should
Okay.
ask. What you should ask is, what is the dollar rental? Number one, what is their lease? How much are they
Okay.
paying a month for their lease? And how much time is left on that lease?
Okay.
All right. That's important because, you know, these type of corporate and commercial leases, they can last 10 years, they can last 20 years. They can last a long time. So how much more time is left on this lease? Because if this guy or gal is really looking for a developer, then that means they can't sell this as a whole package because they still got 10, 20 years on this area right here.
Right.
And you can't knock anything down and start building until this lease is over.
Right.
So
Got you.
we need to know that. That's important.
Okay.
And then yeah, I mean, and then we can review the numbers then. Because if we find out there's only like 2 years left on the lease, still that means that you can't do anything for 2 years. But if we find out that they're almost gone and they're going to be gone by like next February, then we can say, okay, they'll be gone. They'll be gone in February. So now, how do we value this lot?
Right.
Well,
Okay.
now we would do it as land. So if
Oh, I
you,
see. Okay.
yeah, because it's gonna be for a developer. But see, if we do it for land, and you can do land, you can wholesale land, you can do a lot of stuff. Oh, actually, why did I do that? Let's take a look at what's for sale in terms of land. Let's go to LoopNet real fast. So we want for sale, and we want just land, and we want it in Arlington. How big is that lot again? This lot is,
It was like 46.
yeah, it's big, right? It's okay. So
Yeah,
it's almost 2 acres there. And how big is this parcel?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
How weird. I don't know why it does that. It like takes me to a different map, but that's not where we were at. Huh. Anyway, what was the address number again?
908
Uh-huh.
East Division Street, and then Arlington,
Arlington,
Texas.
Texas. So, see, I want this property address. I want to know what this one is, but it's not letting me
Let me see.
click on it. I have that as 1911 East Division. Oh no, they have the address as 1108 Division Street too, which is
Oh,
weird.
I have 201 North Collins Street because Collins does run there.
Oh, is
So
that what it
maybe,
is?
yeah.
Maybe it's that way.
So
Let me
yeah.
let me see what happens when I type this address in.
Okay.
Hmm.
Oh, it gives a different one.
Yeah, oh no, this is it, right?
Mm-mm.
That's
No, that's
Enterprise.
Enterprise. No. Mm-mm.
So that's not the same one. Okay.
No.
But
I have,
interesting.
yeah. I
This
have
is interesting.
201 North Collins Street.
201 North Collins. Let's see what happens when we type in that address. There's the MEI investments that you were talking about. But see,
Why is it giving that?
weird, right? And here's
Yes.
division.
I wonder, oh, but there it is right there, but it's showing across the street. So I wonder if he owns that as well. Hmm.
Possible. Is all this included for 7 million?
No, she just kept saying the corner lot, which is
So it's
right
both
next to
of
it.
these two.
Yeah.
So the weird part is the minute I click this, the minute I click it, it takes me to like a whole nother. It's really strange. Like I
Yeah.
can, yeah, it's weird. Okay, anyway, what happens is once we know what those two lots are combined, then we can just do it for land value. So if it's, let's say it's 4 acres, you've got, let's take a look and see what is really, here's Six Flags Drives. Where are we exactly? On the,
We should be at the when I was looking at there. You see where this diamond is to the left?
right
That's
here?
where we should, yeah, right
Oh,
over
there
in
we
that
go.
area. Yeah.
Okay. So we already got a whole block right here of 5 million, and this is only 1.3. That's not his, is it? No, right?
Mm-mm. No.
503. No. So this
Mm-mm.
whole corner is available for sale. So I mean, located in the heart of the entertainment. This is only 1.3, and they're asking 5 million.
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably why they're asking 7 million.
Yeah. And I was wondering, is it due to that eight, like those stadiums being in that same area? Is that what's bringing the value up so much?
I would think
'Cause-
so, but remember that this is what they're asking. We need to
okay.
find out what they've sold for. And unfortunately, this website can't tell us. There's another web.
Oh,
You need another website called CoStar.
oh, okay. Um,
And the stadium's where? in relation to
Oh, the stadium, if you go in,
this?
keep going in. Let me see. So it would be over there where it says Cowboys Way.
This is the stadium.
Um, like all of this over here. Yeah, Cowboys Way,
Okay.
AT&T, all of that kind of area is where the
Okay.
stadium is at.
Hmm. That might be why. Yeah. I mean, so
Yes, Stadium Drive. That would
see,
be
and
like kind of in that little area.
look at 15 million for 801, 803 Stadium Drive.
Wow. Because it's literally next door.
Oh, right. There's the
Yeah,
stadium.
this Texas Ranger Stadium.
So that's why they're selling this for so much,
Mm-hmm.
the proximity.
Yeah.
And look at what they got on there. I mean, this is what's currently there. So
Mm-hmm.
anyway, okay. Yeah, I mean, I would talk to them. I guess it's possible that they would be able to get that money if they held off because of the proximity to the station. It is
Yeah.
possible.
Yeah.
Because what you were telling me is they're right here, right? Division and Collins, right here.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Right over to your right there in the corner. Uh-huh. So in that area, and then I mean, somebody could literally walk across the street and walk down to the right, and there they are at AT&T Stadium.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's possible, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I zoom in too much. Okay, so yeah, unless we have that one, you'd have to be able to get it like, um, I'm not even sure,
Mm-hmm.
60% of the value. So if you could knock it down from 7 million to like 4 million, maybe you'd have a deal.
Right.
That's what I
Right.
would think. But again, right
Okay.
now we don't know that yet because we still got to ask about the dollar rent a car and find out when they're going to be when that lease is up.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
But look, my recommendation is, like I said, just keep hunting, keep looking for them, and when you need help underwriting them, I'll help you underwrite them. We can create something creative out of those deals
Yeah.
and see if we can. Look, worst case scenario, you might be able to get a buyer for traditional real estate once you get your license, and then you can also still wholesale it, and we can also creative it, make it
Right.
a creative deal as possible.
Okay.
All right.
Alrighty. Okay. I'll be looking for the
Okay.
video.
Good luck.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye.
Okay. Bye.